So what you should be doing, what considerations you should have on target setting. I promised you that this is not a session on giving you a process of setting the goals. I am sure all of you are educated and equipped enough to really set a goal yourself. You know about the primer goal, you probably know about the theory of SMART goal and stuff like that. Those of course are fantastic theory and you should definitely use it, but we are not going to talk about that. We are just going to talk about few things that you need to consider before you set the target. One such thing is the relevance of the target that you are setting. Each one of us have several kind of a long term destination in our sight. Let's call it a life goal or a life purpose, or in terms of business or profession you have targeted something, but you are not setting that as a target. You of course have certain other mini targets, let's say, or the stepping stones kind of target. And if you are setting those targets, if they are relevant to your long term objective, then only you should be setting the target. If there is any target which is actually not contributing to your long term objective about the life or the profession, then probably you should stay away from that, unless it is a laser target, for example going on vacation. But that also is somewhat related to your life goals. Creating a wealth probably also is one of your personal goal. So any target that you set, you should absolutely able to be you should be able to see absolute relevance to that long term objective. Unless if it is not there, if it is not present, then probably that's not the target that you should pick up, because you are going to give up anyways. Then another thing that you should look at is the order of its own priority. You should be asking this question: is this really something that I should be doing at this time? The timing really matters. Time is always of essence. And then if you are doing certain things either ahead of time or after the actual time has passed, then obviously this is something that is not going to keep you on track. So you should be very clear about the order of priority when you are picking up a target or setting the target. Another question that you should be asking is, what if? Ask yourself whether, what if I don't do these, or if I don't achieve this target at this time? Is it going to make any difference in my life? Is it going to really cause any disturbance or damage in my profession or in my business? Is it something that is going to create kind of a catastrophe, or it may lead to completely a negative world? So try asking this question, whether this is something that is absolutely necessary. What if I don't do or achieve this particular target at this time? What is the impact of that? And that should be your motivation enough to really set a target and work with the method that we are going to discuss in the later part of this session. Another aspect that you should look at is whether this is making any positive difference. See, it is all about growing steadily. Whether it is your life or a profession or a business, if your target is not really adding any value, or if it is not enhancing the levels wherever you are today, then those kind of targets are not really motivating enough. So any target that you set, you should always look at whether it is going to make or take me in the direction of positivity, or it is going to put me a level up. So those kind of things you can consider when you are setting the target. And finally, whether the target is something which is really moving you. See, if you are a professional or if you are a business owner, no matter what you are doing, but if you are setting the target which is part and parcel of your regular deliverables, for example, if you are a sales guy and if you are going to add 20% more on your target, or let's say you set a target of 20% more sales, or 10% profitability, 10 or 5% more profitability in everything that you do. Now these are your routine requirements. This probably is kind of your contractual obligations, whether it is your own business or whether you are working for somebody else or some organization. Your target should always be something which is really moving you from inside. So when you are setting the target, obviously one of the greatest thing that we all experience is we all have great enthusiasm at the beginning, but don't trust your enthusiasm. Don't really rely on enthusiasm at the time of setting the target. That's really going to kill you. But rather you should ask whether is it something which is motivating enough, and it is also answering all the other 4 questions that we have just discussed. So if it is motivating enough, if it is something which is really causing you a little bit of stretch, and I am talking and asking only about a little bit of stretch, not much really. So if you are able to do that, or if you are able to see that in the target that you are setting, then probably you are all set for a fantastic target. And once you set the target, you of course are going to achieve it.